favour, can you
Hello and welcome to Damn It Vacant, two-man move today. It's Ellis and Joe here. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, right.
Yes.
It's warm, isn't it?
It's very warm. We're recording this on Wednesday night when it's about 24 degrees Celsius at the moment at 6:30.
Yeah,
And I'm on a coach for 7 hours tomorrow with 40 learners, so it's going to be fun going to Oxford.
I mean, hopefully it's got air conditioning.
Oh my God, imagine if it doesn't.
I mean, that's going to be because you can't even open the windows because it's cold.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, good point.
Stay hydrated.
Oh my God.
Take plenty of liquids with you. And a puzzler.
Don't know if that'll entertain the youth of today.
We get a free pen every time.
John is celebrating his second wedding.
Yeah.
2-year wedding anniversary.
Yeah, that's the correct way of saying it. Cotton. That's what it is.
What it is for 2 years.
Yeah. Paper 1, cotton 2. Then after that, we stopped because I was like, this is garbage. Like wait till you get to the good ones where it's like gold or tungsten or something, zinc.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one. Imagine a world without zinc. You can't, can you? It's he messaged us like before and went, I can't record. It's my wedding anniversary. It turns out. I was like, that's my level. Yeah, but I only know mine because it's a week after my birthday, which was smart thinking on my wife's part.
Yeah.
Then I will almost never forget. Yes. But
There's a theme with it. Well, I'm on this year's my 12 year, and Barney each month has been getting me so she didn't tell me what she was doing, so it took me about 4 months to clock it. So she was getting me a gift every month. So at first I was like, oh, this is nice. I'm just getting a gift every month. So it was like alcohol and stuff at first. And then I started getting some quite bizarre ones, like a turtle that I could put my glasses on, but it was made of bronze.
Right. Well, bronze is 8.
So what she's been doing each month is representing a year. So on the 8th month, she got me that. And so
what was year 3? Leather? I'm assuming a shoe or something.
She bought me some new shoes.
Yeah.
It's
Again,
nice.
there's just some of them, like a cack, like 13 lace. What are you going to do with that for men? Get one of them things that you put up your sleeve so you can pretend you're David Bowie in Labyrinth. I mean, I'd be into that, actually. No, but there's the modern one as well. I didn't know all this until I found and looked it up, and I was like, there's a modern version of it where, like, fashion jewellery, diamond jewellery at 10 years. They know that this isn't lasting very long then, don't they? Because if you get to 75, it says diamond again, and I'm assuming that's you've got to get them the Cora Noir or something like that. The big Indian one. You got to go and steal that in a heist. But yeah, that's so anniversary talk as well. Not only I've been playing Expedition 33. It's very good. I'm enjoying that. Played some more Oblivion. It's fine, but it's not Expedition 33. What I'm also decided I'm going to start doing is in the afternoons when I finished work, I'm going to do like an hour's stream I'm going to play Tavern Management Simulator. Not the one I have been playing. This is a 3D one. It's the best one of the things. But I just thought for an hour a day, it will encourage me to be a bit more creative and not just sit on the couch and fall asleep like I normally do when I finish work for an hour. So I'm going to be doing that from some point, probably tomorrow if I remember. And there's that. Other dates for your diary, if you are Sheffield based. Can I encourage you on the 21st of June? Come along to Sheffield Pride, because that's me, will be playing bass in the UK's only RuPaul covers punk band. There may be a Ru covers ska band. There may be an indie one, but we don't give a fuck about them because they're probably rubbish. Yeah, Snatch Game, the UK's only, probably the world's only RuPaul punk covers band are playing Pride, and I am filling in on bass for them, as I do when the other bass player can't make it because he's got like jury duty or he's fallen in a sinkhole or something like that. So yeah, that'll be fun. They're always tremendous. The most fun I've ever had playing gigs in the entire 25, 30 years I've been doing it, because they're just wild. They're just great fun. So if you can, come along to that, and you'll get to see me.
What venue in Sheffield?
I don't know yet. I don't know anything about it other than I got a message before saying, can you do Sheffield? And I went, yes, it's been too long. And then I went and looked at my wardrobe and was like, it's time to come out, ladies. And I got to go and pick my dresses and my wigs and that now. Yeah. It feels like it just sounds like I've got ladies trapped in my wardrobe, and that's not true because my wardrobe has no sides on it. They're freestanding Swedish things or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's my notes for the week. Also, last week went to Salford City Wrestling with my brother and Petter from Penciled In. If you haven't listened to them, go and listen. Or watch it. Watching it's better, I feel. just because it's nice to see people, like good-looking people. That's why we don't show ours, because we've got faces like an abandoned saucepan. But yeah, a really good show. It's getting, even though it's their third show, it's getting to be like my second favorite one after Morecambe, because it's family friendly, but it's not stupid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, things are happening for reasons, and cogs are in motion, and they've quickly established where things are in 3 shows and who's interacting with who and that. And I'm like, that's pretty good going, to be fair. Like,
it's impressive, yeah.
Everything makes sense. Got the little sheet out again as well. Troy Ryan against Bentley. We love Troy Ryan, even though we're not supposed to like him, but me and my brother, like, against Bentley. Bentley, Salford's #1 boy, very over in Bolton Town Wrestling as well, you know, good white meat babyface. Cracking match. Troy Ryan kills him to death and then, like, parades his corpse around the ring. Great fun. We had the women's tag team, Alfie and Harley Harris, who I have seen before somewhere, and I can't place where it is, and I think she's part of Hellbound with Alton Thorne. So that might be, but again, at this point, there's a Joey Alt's pub like 2 doors up from it, £2.40 a pint.
£2.40, yeah. You're saying,
and it's like going the Makers. It's great. Against Lily Winter and again one of my new favourites, Natalie Sykes, just really good. You know, heel versus faces, cheating against non-cheating, just really, really fun, good stuff. And like, because it's family friendly, like, the kids are getting really into it, and I'm like, you kids, step back, because they can come flying out of there at any opportunity, and they will do. Bigger picture, that is Mighty Joe and Nishiki came out and got absolutely, like, could not get a word in because the crowd were just booing them that loudly, and every time Nishiki tried to talk, they just did the ooh over the top of it. It was hilarious fun. Decker came out, murdered them both. Decker quickly establishing himself as, like, the face in there as well, which is nice. He's looking great. Came over to me at the bar afterwards talking about his sexy pirate pants, and I was like, it's nice that you listen, but I don't like being pulled up on things that I've said off the cuff. But yeah, no, lovely fella. I bought him a pint. Like, he's yeah, it's nice that I'm not allowed to talk to people. That's why Ellis is normally there, because he's the good talk man in real world, and I just go, yeah, gotta go now. Sorry. Yeah. And then Dave Birch against Big Steve. I don't think I've seen Big Steve before. Good, big, old style wrestler. Dave Birch is a piece of shit. He's not. He's great, but he does heal so well. Philip Michael against Jack Barron. Jack Barron, again, I'm sure I've seen him in Bolton and stuff a couple of times. Great wrestler. Philip Michael did John's lovely lad. Tremendous technical wrestler. Hated by the Salford faithful. And main event, Aitkenstein against Jack Johnson in a Salford street fight. We had tables, we had non-union Lego. It was brilliant. Like, it was absolutely great. Like, Jack Johnson, again, establishing himself as like the #1 boy, and then at the end, Troy Ryan comes out, and what's he called? Jesper Jensen. I've got the bloody sheet here, and I cannot remember. Jensen Vesper came out, and like, they're now, I think they're called the Monarchy, so he's joined him, and so we're again, but it's establishing stuff. It's setting up who's allied with who, but it's great fun. We've already bought tickets for the next one. That's 4th of July. Independence Day in America, because it's just a great fun night, and it's family friendly. It's got that Morecambe thing where you feel safe, like, to let your kids wander around a bit, and they're not going to get, like, abducted. I'm not going to say they're going to get abducted, but you know what I mean? It just feels a safe, encompassing atmosphere, and that knobhead guy wasn't there this time, or if he was, he kept his mouth shut. So if you can go along to that one, we'll be there. It's just good fun, and I'm very, very excited for Salford City Wrestling to see what they're going to do next.
John.
He has left some news. Thank you, John, for that. We'll kick off picking up on a thread from last week of The Rock's Pat McAfee interview. But Fightful have got some talent reactions to it. Not only that, since then, I don't know if you've seen this, Dave LaGreca, who runs Busted Open Radio, he's called The Rock out quite a lot on his bullshit.
Right.
And he was fuming after WrestleMania and what he did and didn't do, and then he went on the Pat McAfee show and he was just like, he's just burning everything down, which he is doing. The Rock... Yeah, well, let's get onto that, and then we'll go on to the Dave LaGreca stuff. So The Rock says he could have been involved in the finish, but he wanted the spotlight to be on Cena and the number 17.
I mean, I get it. Yeah, makes sense. Nice.
Makes sense.
No,
but...
I mean, don't take the moment away from the boy. Yeah.
No, I got that one. I was just like, well, don't start the story off with you as the central character of it then. Before, if you want that to happen.
No, I mean, it made sense because it's seen as heel, and if he'd have just done it then, it wouldn't have made sense. So it needed to happen, but because he didn't show on Raw either, did he? The next night.
No, but then
so again, like you've got to show up on one of the two, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then he was on Pat McAfee the Tuesday after, so the day after the Raw, when everyone was kicking off and going mad. He appeared on that, which is what this interview was.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got that. I understood him wanting the focus to be on Cena. That made sense. He says basically the only reason he was called was because Elimination Chamber tickets were slow on the sale, and Ari Emanuel, not Triple H, Ari Emanuel, who leads TKO, rang him and said, "Can you think of anything we can do?" And that's when he said, "Leave it with me," and he came up with the idea of the Soul, but also he wanted to turn Cody heel. So them rumors that were out there, that's what he wanted are true. That was turned down by Triple H, and Triple H is the one who suggested let's go with Cena. The Rock loved it. Cena loved it, and yeah, he basically went, well, okay, let's do Elimination Chamber. And then he said he rang them both and said the final boss's work is done. I am going to step back into the shadows.
You didn't do anything. Oh, didn't
let you finish it off. Yeah. He said he liked the finish, that being Cena holding 17. He said that was a North Star. That's what we wanted at the end.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I get that.
How they got there was.
But he went, I'd have finessed how we got there, which. And he basically also then said that he wasn't aware of Travis Scott being there, and as soon as he saw Travis Scott, he was like, they're all going to expect me now.
Yeah.
Travis Scott is there. So I don't think he was thinking about that. In terms of the talent Fightful reached out to, they took note of the fact that Rock, not only was he not on TV at WrestleMania, he didn't do any promotion at all. There was no tweets, no social media stuff about it. Another talent pointed out that he didn't tweet about it, like I said. But as soon as there was all this backlash, he was very quickly put on a podcast and spouting out all this. So it felt like a damage control
limitation, yes,
thing. But whether I'm like, who for? Was it damage control for the company or for you? Because you didn't help the company in what you said.
It's for him. Rock's gone full Hogan in his just fuck it. Everything I say is gospel truth now. Like,
yeah. Have you seen the trailer for his new? Do you know that UFC film? And I was like, that's not Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, I have seen it. I was like, okay, I don't know what this is, and I don't think it's for me.
No, but it's not a role that we normally see him in. He's actually got to do some emotional acting in it, by the looks of it.
I mean, he's not wearing khaki, so that's a step in the right direction.
Absolutely. A Fightful. A WWE source confirmed that he was rang as a result of trying to boost Elimination Chamber tickets, so that part of his story seems to fit. A long-time talent said the roster always loved seeing The Rock, but noted that the card is at the mercy of Dwayne. Comment from a top talent last year was something that they believe pulls The Rock in both ways. One person they spoke to claimed The Rock didn't want to be seen as interfering with WrestleMania plans like last year, but didn't really understand how integral he would be to the actual story that was taking place. Which is okay. It should be obvious that he's selling the soul, that you would be the key one. Ultimately, The Rock's absence and subsequent comments weren't met with as much frustration from the roster and staff Fightful spoke to as it was confusion. One talent speculated it was an overcorrection and cited last year's reaction to The Rock being inserted, but said it was a wildly different situation. And a lot of talent were discussing backstage about Rock's absence from WrestleMania, him not mentioning it and promoting it. They just said, we all found it kind of weird that he didn't promote the show at all, which I think is fair. And then the Dave LaGreca thing. So he commented on Instagram, I believe it was, on one of a video of Dave LaGreca just calling The Rock out. And he said, "Hi Dave, the business is a complete work. Always has been, always will be. Every aspect of it, every match, every interview. Please join me, Cody, Cena, Brian, and the rest of us," doesn't name Triple H, "for our creative discussions so you can expand your perspective. Until then, stop ranting. It's not healthy, my friend. Enjoy the show. P.S. Tell Bubba. Bubba Ray's on Busted Open. I've got Grandma in it." One talent said, "What does that mean? Is he working every time he stops by and talks to us backstage too? Was a McAfee interview a work even though he specified he wasn't in character?" So yeah, I saw that comment. I thought I didn't like that one. I didn't like that comment, I'll be honest.
It's just a weird thing. Like, I get it of him going, right, the second time telling, get The Rock out, that'll bump numbers. Like, I get it. But then
I got that, yeah.
But then to just be like, my work here is done. No, you need to finish that story, or at least like go, okay, Cena, you're on your own now, kid. But if you ever need me, you pick up this special Rock phone, and I'll be there in a heartbeat. So that you can't just not show up But I guess
No.
you can, really.
Well,
and
you
then
can.
and then claim that it was all your idea all along.
Yeah, it's a comment thing. It was just a bit, it's an odd one comment back with that stuff, because what it's come across as to me is, and it goes back to the build up to WrestleMania and all the stupid comments they were making. Is like when things were going really well, like they put videos on the shows of like the YouTubers reacting, the podcasters, and the tweets. But now it's been negative. It's like, shut your mouth and enjoy the show. What are you moaning about? You shouldn't be moaning. It's like, well, you tap into it when it's going well. You can't shut it down when it's not.
It's you can, because you know.
Well, you can, but done it.
It makes your product look weird in comparison. Multiple WWE talent found out about cancelled WrestleMania plans from the Netflix trailer for the docuseries Unreal, which has been at its trailer released and has caused quite a buzz. During the trailer for the series, a whiteboard was shown with potential WrestleMania matches. It's got big "Just Sack Pat" energy, this, hasn't it, from Alpha Papa? From what we can tell, the whiteboard was from a creative meeting during winter months. Fightful gave a rundown recently of the matches, when and how many of them changed. In the weeks following the trailer dropping, we've heard from a number of talent. There were some talent that approached Fightful and said that they had heard rumours of their matches that came to fruition, but weren't even approached with them. Multiple blessers listed on the board who tell Fightful that they found out they were once planned for a WrestleMania match from that trailer. Unfortunately, there were also talent who didn't appear on Mania that were listed. It might have been they wrote everyone's name on it and then were just drawing lines between them. I don't know. Many in WWE were surprised to see Oscar's name listed on there. So being back in time was very ambitious, to say the least. Yeah. I haven't seen it. I have kind of no interest in it, which leads us on to the next point here of the WWE roast of WrestleMania audio that got leaked and was aggressively scrubbed off the internet. I'm not going to repeat any of it, but it was horrible.
Yeah, if you're having to confiscate phones on the way in, then
you know it's not good. And
you already know that you.
Yeah, but it wasn't even like, that's the thing about roasts, is that it's you're supposed to be punching down on one person, the person whose roast it is, not in a scattergun approach to everyone. And it's also supposed to be funny. That's the thing.
Most of whom weren't even there.
Yeah, to defend themselves. And I'm like, and I didn't say this on Saturday when I saw you, but for this reason alone, this is the straw that's broke my back with WWE, as far as I'm concerned. So I will be no longer watching any of it. I might watch the Rumble, because I like the Rumble, but as far as anything else goes, I'm done with it until they fucking sort themselves out. Because as I joked at the time, I don't mind racism as long as it's accurate racism. And there's jokes now that don't even make sense in a racist way. I also don't condone racism. Just to clear that up before someone takes it out of context, it just hurt my brain that they sat there and laughed at this. And I don't know whether it was ha 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 laughing, or it's that nervous laugh that you do when some nutter in the pub's telling jokes and you feel like you're going to get stabbed. Like that kind of energy.
No, apparently Heyman, and I don't really know who he is. He just appears in WWE shows because he's a comedian who's a big fan, called Fluffy from Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
he nearly got into it on the stage.
But I'm fairly sure most of Fluffy's material is stolen from other comedians anyway. I may be wrong, but I'm sure I remember reading a very long.
I think there were being comments made about
he's
Puerto
a big
Rico
lad.
And stuff.
Yeah,
and he apparently he nearly lost it.
So from this point on, I will feign interest, and I'll still know the news stuff about it, but I will not be watching a height and a hair of it, because fuck them.
Yeah, fucking stupid idea. And
there was so much goodwill at the start of the year for them from me, and I'm just like, you fucking pissed it up the wall, lads.
Yeah.
And lasses.
I said most of them weren't even there. I mean, I'd seen a tweet before that kind of leak had come out and the comments had been revealed. I'd seen like Charlotte's tweet before I'd gone to bed, and I was like, don't really understand that. But it was just like, IDK, I'm just going to wrestle. And then obviously that all got leaked. I was like, oh, she was a target and a divorces and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Stuff that Tiffany was apparently in a lot of shit for was a front and centre thing.
There's a difference between in-ring sort of heel work of that. I mean, that promo is a whole separate, it will be studied for years to come, that thing. Whereas just taking the piss out of Charlotte Flair's face, but she's obviously not happy with because of all the plastic surgery she's had done, it just feels like really low-hanging fruit when there's other things you could have made jokes about than the most obvious base crass stuff. And I like crass jokes, Bottom is literally one of my favourite shows in the world, and that's just knob and fart jokes, but it's not mean-spirited, and that's the thing that fucking annoyed me about it, was that it wasn't funny and it was just punching down. And that's not what comedy's supposed to be. Comedy's supposed to be about punching up. It's supposed to be about mocking those in higher positions of power, or knob jokes. But yeah, so fuck him.
Yeah.
So fuck him. Yeah, that's the end of that. Let's move on.
Brody Lee, we mentioned he had a match
Won.
at the GCW Clusterfuck, yes, and he won. He's been training at the Dungeon 2.0. He's become a beloved face there. Fightful were told that Brody legitimately wants to learn to be a pro wrestler, and he's put the work in at the Dungeon to do so. In terms of his appearance at Clusterfuck, came about earlier in the day when Man Like DeReese ran into Brody Jr. Brody asked what he was doing that evening, and Man Like DeReese replied he was in the Clusterfuck, and asked jokingly if Brody wanted to partake. Brody said, "Yes, I do." Asked permission from his mum, Amanda, who allowed it. Brett then contacted Joey Janela to tell him that Brody was in the match, at which point Janela immediately said Brody should win, and we told Brody wanted to make sure to reflect well on the Dungeon 2.0.
I'm crying.
He seemed
mate.
proud of his short notice debut, and he was back in the Dungeon later that week.
That is legitimately, I'm legitimately welling up. Yeah, it's hay fever. That is just the most bizarre and brilliant and lovely thing in the world. That he was, DeReese is like, "Do you want to be in the Clusterfuck?" Well, I've got to ask my mum. Oh, well done, everyone. Yeah, it's nice, and I mean, because that was the thing, wasn't it, when he was doing bits on Being the Elite and that, it was like, if his schoolwork dips or anything like that, he's not allowed to train. Like, you've still got to have your brain as well as your thing. So, oh, my little heart. Mayu Iwatani is leaving Stardom. She made the announcement at a press conference on April 28th saying she has wrestled in Stardom for the final time. She lost the IWGP Women's Championship to Suri at All-Star Grand Queendom in 2025, April 27th. She's been with Stardom since its inception in January 2011. Bloody hell. She is a former two-time World of Stardom champion, five-time Artist of Stardom champion, two-time Wonder of Stardom champion, Goddesses of Stardom champion, and the High Speed champion. Japanese titles are just so much better than like Intercontinental and stuff, isn't it? Like, they're like Grand High Emperor champion and stuff. Yeah, all right.
Keep outdoing themselves. Tam Nakano retires following the career versus career match against Kamitani at the All-Star Grand Queendom. Again, great name. Nakano's career in professional wrestling has officially come to an end. In the main event of Stardom show, Nakano lost that match against Kamitani, which also saw the World of Stardom Championship on the line as well. Nakano was asked for the loser of the match to not experience a retirement ceremony, retirement road, or anything else once they lost. Instead, the loser would just disappear from pro wrestling altogether. Kamitani defeated Nakano with her own finisher, the Twilight Dream Suplex. Nakano finishes her career as a two-time World of Stardom champion, two-time Wonder of Stardom champion, one of three to hold each title twice, and the only other woman besides Iwatani to hold both championships simultaneously, which she did in 2023. So
that's
retirement.
Again, I don't know enough. There's not enough hours in the day, but again, like Joshi wrestling is something I really don't think I should get into because it's fucking batshit. Yeah, it's just must make time. Must give up something else. Eating, that'll do. The mini story section. Indy Hartwell signing was announced by TNA. On April 27th, Fightful Select had reported earlier in the month that a number of international signings hadn't been announced. Hartwell was in the process of being signed as far back as a full month ago, but it was finalised this time around. I mean, if she somehow gets her way back to the fucking...
She will. I like Indy.
I loved it. Again, some of my favourite things at the NXT between her and Dexter Loomis.
Like, wedding.
The wedding, the Italian date thing they went on. Like, there's just her carrying Loomis out that time. Like, it's just her pretending to be injured and then doing the wink and the kiss to the camera. It's just fun, good stuff. Alan Angels, though, has left TNA. Fightful Select has confirmed that Alan Angels was one of the many talent that left the company in December as his contract had expired. He is and has been effectively a free agent since that point. Watching Mystery Wrestling on Sunday, they did mention Alan Angels, but that was just in relation to Stu Grayson. I don't think he has appeared there, maybe. Also, if you haven't watched it, go and watch it for their championship. Is first to get punched in the groin match. It's tremendous. It's literal cinema. It's brilliant. TNA sources claim to Fightful Select Sean Ross Sapp this week that they had begun talks with Ace Austin to keep him with the company. We've not heard how far along the talks are, but the TNA was hopeful that they'd retain him. Okay, well done you. Tekla is done with Stardom. Everyone's just leaving Stardom. I'd like this to be headed to the United States. Multiple male companies have been interested in her. Been fit in. Liv Morgan is taking some time off for a movie role. People close to her claim that people's jaws will drop when the announcement comes, which should be next week. Fightful told that it's a movie that doesn't appear to be on anyone's radar. I'm guessing Minions 5.
PW Insider are saying it. If it goes as the film is projected to, she will be like the next it person in Hollywood. Some people speculated as Gwen Stacy in the new Spider-Man, but it's been confirmed that it's not a superhero film. And on
What
Raw,
else is there?
on Raw this week, she had a backstage segment where Nick Aldis was stepping in for Adam Pearce as GM, and she said, I've got a movie, I got a film, I've got permission to have the time off. He was like, yeah, we've seen the paperwork from the movie company, good luck in it all. So they brought it into the online as well. That sounds like it's going to be pretty massive. It's not like
no, I mean, there's, I mean, I was joking about thinking, as I've said, I'm sure I've mentioned, we went and saw Sinners at the cinema. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it, because literally I'm probably going to go and watch it, get a little bit drunk and go and rewatch it, because it's fucking amazing. Genuinely, I was like, this is brilliant. I've not enjoyed a film. I didn't even care about all the dickheads on their phone next to me. I was that sort of enraptured in it all. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And me and Faye were like, I've got theories. It's just great. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
film.
I've not seen it. I think I've mentioned before, I do them surveys, so you get like money, and you review film trailers and stuff before they've been. The trailers have been released, so I reviewed that one like ages ago, and I remember watching the trailer going, I don't have a clue what this is, but it looks amazing, and I had to do a whole survey about all the characters and the style of the everything.
I went in with not knowing anything, and I was like, all right, it's going to be this. That's sweet, that's good, and then I'm like, yes, this is even better, and then I was like, oh my god, this is peak cinema. It has everything I love in it.
It's Ryan Coogler and
river dancing, Connie Lingus. It's got everything. Yeah. Cut that. In a post that has since been removed from Adventure Consultant's website, it's revealed that Darby Allin's team had reached the Mount Everest base camp on April the 20th. It takes like a year, doesn't it, to get up and down or something?
I was going to say, how long does it take to get down? Coming down's harder.
Yeah, it really is. Because you do all flat feet, don't you, like that?
Yeah.
You flappy feet. Each jump. Dustin Rhodes has said that he will finish his career with AEW. In a tweet, someone said, I would love to see Dustin finish up his career in WWE with Cody, to which Dustin, God bless him, replied, nope, AEW is where I will finish. It's the only place I've ever felt respected. Good on you, Dustin.
Love it.
I genuinely do. I've grown to really love Dustin because he's got so much better. As the first time he did that cannonball off the apron, I was like, Dustin, you're 60 years old, pack him in. And he just,
Well, he was a pawn. He was a pawn in Vince McMahon's hatred of the Rhodes and dressing him up and trying to embarrass Dusty for so many years. So
yeah. I mean, it's horrible, but
and him, I don't want him to end with Cody, because still one of my favorite AEW matches ever was Dustin and Cody in that opening. Was it Double or Nothing or All In? Double or Nothing, wasn't it?
It was the first one that wasn't a proper show, but was a show.
Yeah, I think it was Double or Nothing. Yeah, because All In came later.
Fighter Fest or something?
No, that was a Dynamite special. But no, that match as a match between them, I thought that was a perfect.
You ain't going to get any better than that. I wanted a brother. Tears. Beautiful.
Show reviews should be fairly quick. I've not got around to Dynamite. You've not seen WWE, so I'll run off the WWE stuff first. Randy is set to face Cena. They had a little face-to-face. Good little promo. Orton made a thing about Cena not having any kids, and which fact Cena turned around to the crowd and went, well, I've not had any kids because I spent 25 years having to raise these degenerates in the crowd and support them. Did that. They played a lot of each other's history, which is obviously very extensive. This is a match where I'm not looking forward to the match. I'm looking forward to the build, because they both know what they're doing in a build.
I mean, Randy's slow, and Cena's like deliberately trying to dismantle wrestling entertainment. But it has the possibility to be fun, at least. Like, because the Cody and thing one just wasn't fun. But like, I can see Randy getting annoyed and just trying to punt his head off. Yeah. That is the build which would be good, because again they've got.
Well, the build's short. Backlash is next week.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, it's May 10th.
Right.
So and it's in Orton's own town. But that's set up. That was good. Fraxium officially on SmackDown now. Called up.
Oh.
Your boy Nathan Frazier.
Oh man, his mum will be furious. So all them local toughs keep putting tuber grips in a birdhouse still. It's a nightmare.
Yeah. Well, so you haven't seen the NXT podcast reviews that were done. Evergreen.
None of that makes sense. Yeah. Nathan Frazier. Nathan, yeah, I mean, they are all Untitled Wrestling's NXT podcast with me and Aaron back in the day. There's not very little wrestling, but there's a lot of bits about stuff. You like trains and bad impressions and a man trying to get as many pegs on his face to win a Guinness Book of Records. That's the show for you. They're all on YouTube somewhere. Don't them.
Yeah.
Or don't.
Yeah, no, he was a favourite of that pod. Jacob Fatu is a badass US champion. Probably not a sentence that would surprise you. Yeah, you've got LA Knight wanting a rematch. You've then got Drew going, nope, I'm next. And then Priest coming out and costing Drew. And you know what? Fatu just came out and murdered every single one of the fuckers. And I was like,
I'm into that. Just like, we're going to have to form a 3-man sort of Voltron to take him down.
Yes. And Drew put him over in a little way because when he came out, he's like, well, I could go for like the top championship. I could go for the WWE championship, but Punk is holding that. In Cena, he said, I want the baddest dog in the yard. So that's Jacob Fatu. So I don't know if we're going for a fatal 4-way down the line or a combination of anything, but I mean, Fatu is adored. Like, he is just.
Oh yeah. Again, he doesn't even have to speak. He just is terrifying. Like, yeah, I get it. A 4-way there would be good because it wouldn't hurt any of them, and they can get some fucking sweet stuff off and make Fatu look like an absolute killer. Yeah.
100%. The US Championship has changed hands. Chelsea Green has dropped it to Zelina Vega. She's lost a couple of matches with count out and DQ, and then it's ended up getting to this 1-on-1, and she's lost it. So it's Zelina's first ever singles title. I think she's been a tag champ in NXT. But in the segment before that, The Miz came out complaining about people like he gets pushed to the back all the time. New people come in and take his spots. At which all the lights went out, and we got the old school Aleister Black music with candles and the chair, the whole shebang. And he just came and kicked the fuck out of Miz with his black mask.
So wow, the grass really is greener on the other side of the fence. You were in a feud with checks notes, the Miz. Miz. Sweet, well done, mate. Yeah.
So we will see where he goes from there.
No, I hope
Rusev. On his Raw bit, he did a pre-tape promo. It's like Redeemer Law. I like it because he's kind of bringing in Law from AEW, bringing in his previous WWE run, and it's all coming together. It's actually really good. So he's
okay.
If you like the Redeemer stuff that he did,
that was the best thing Rusev ever did. Yeah.
So he effectively was like, yes, I left, and it's showing all the old footage of him, and you forget like he looks completely different when he had like the long hair. He was a bit heavier when he
long hair. Rusev isn't real. Yeah.
And he was just like, yeah, I was here before. I took it for granted. I had all the tanks and all this kind of stuff. It's showing all the highlights.
All the shagging tanks he could want, yeah.
And he was like, and I left. I headed back to Bulgaria. I was fighting for a woman that wasn't mine and a flag that wasn't real. I quite like that line.
That's pretty good, yeah. All right, I'll give you that.
And he was like, I was heading back to my home country, ended up in the Abyss. I was like, why would you go to the Abyss when Abyss is in the Abyss? Because I'm assuming he means AEW when he says that.
Oh, I thought he meant the wrestler Abyss. He meant to see him.
That's what I mean.
Or he went and watched the Abyss, the film, the Mary Elizabeth Master Antonio
film. Any of them. But his mission statement in coming back was, I took for granted my spot, and I am going to take out anyone who is doing that because they like me don't deserve the place in this business. So that is setting up him versus Otis in a big man meaty slapping match next week on Raw. So it brought in the Redeemer stuff because he was doing stuff like that there, and he brought in stuff he'd done there.
Yeah.
I like that line about the flag because he had to represent a country that he actually wasn't from for a good while, didn't he? Yeah.
Yep. No.
It's good.
Again, he's always been quite a good talker. Like I said, the Redeemer stuff was fucking brilliant, where he was just, I'm going to kill God and then I'm coming for you. I'm like, all right. I mean, I can't argue with that. What do you say? All right. Well, have fun killing God, boys.
Can't come back from that one. And then the only other thing on SmackDown, this might sound like hyperbole, but there's a lot of it. Sean Ross, lots of people online have said it. Probably the best TLC match since WrestleMania 17, if not better.
I have heard, but yeah.
Street Profits, DIY, Motor City Machine Guns. The last hour of Raw was commercial free, so this was just straight through. Half hour.
No, must be strong.
Balls to the wall. You can't really fully describe it all, but you've got Montez Ford in there, so that straight away,
Shit's going off.
you got the suicide dive when he does that, but it's a suicide dive into a tope into like another move on the outside. You've got the nod to this classic spear, the Jeff Hardy edge spear
Off the ladder, yeah.
but with a table underneath, so they hit the spear and then go through a table
for safety.
Yeah, for that. Do you know is it Daffy Duck when his bill spins around him?
Yeah. It's the best bit of any Looney Tunes is where does Daffy Duck's bill end up?
Was it Alex Shelley? I think Alex Shelley had a chair around his head, and then Gargano smashed the chair and it just spun around his head.
No, don't like that.
Bill.
No, don't like that.
He went down, which was mad, and then I absolutely loved the finish because it was just so inventive. And we're like numb wrestling fans, aren't we? Like we've seen loads of ladder matches, and it's like it's all going to be the same. But Montez is climbing. He gets pulled down by Gargano. He gets he gets trapped with his legs underneath the middle. How do I describe it? He's in the middle of the ladder with his head sticking through one of the rungs.
Right, so he's slid all the way through it.
Yeah, and Gargano super kicks his head while he's in that rung.
Don't like that as well.
Gargano climbs over him. One of Motor City Machine Guns goes up the other side, and they're fighting the top of the ladder. And then Montez climbs up the inside of the ladder. So he gets his head under and he climbs up the inside of the ladder, takes both of them out, and then springboards himself onto the top of the ladder to take the titles.
All right, that's pretty fucking cool. I'll give it that. Yeah. I'm still not watching it though. I mean, I wish I'd have found this. I wish I'd known this before I put myself in self-induced embargo on. But here we are.
But yeah, no, it's got a lot of praise as one of the best matches with ladders seen in.
I've heard people say, even people have only just come back to wrestling. I said, like, has it always been like this? I was like, oh no, no, it's been shit, fucking ages, mate. Like,
no.
But
still seeing Ciampa without that beard. That was a bit disconcerting, but he had a massive.
He sliced his face up, didn't he? Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, that was that, and then Raw. Something WWE haven't done in a while, which I used to really like, is the threads. Like when there's something that runs through the whole show.
Oh, yeah.
Which they kind of got away from, especially in Mania season. I thought that was a real letdown in the build. Like there should have been threads. So you start off with Seth's new group. The crowd fucking love him, which is great. And Sammy came out. Wasn't expecting Sammy to be the one that came out. So the whole thread of the show really was Seth. Well, Seth was called a hypocrite by Sammy. And he's like, you're just jealous of Punk, you're jealous of Reigns, and you criticise him, but you stood here with the one thing that is the common denominator between the two of them, Paul Heyman. And you're a hypocrite with it all. And you can see Sammy's side, but you can also see Seth's side. As well, you went back to Roman after everything he did to you, so you can see both sides. And Seth's like, we have got a real friendship. He said, you with us or you against us? And if you're against us, I'm going to hurt you, and I don't want to do that. And he was like, you need to make a decision by the end of the night. So then throughout the night, it's a bunch of, obviously all the action that's going on, but little backstage segments. One of which is Heyman, who goes to him and he's like, I don't want to fucking talk to you. And Heyman makes a point. He went, well, you broke free of the bloodline and you got praised for it. I'm breaking free of the bloodline. Why am I getting shit on by you for it when you did the same thing?
Very different methods of excommunication.
Very different methods.
Yeah.
But then he offers Sammy. He says, well, your out is you can transfer to SmackDown. You can get away from it. If you don't agree with Seth, etc., you can go to SmackDown. And when you go there, you will be guaranteed a shot at Cena or Orton, whoever wins that title. And you can see that hooks him. If you don't, you're going to be fighting Bron Breakker at the end of the night because he wants a piece of you. So that's the jeopardy of it. And then you've got Jay talking to him and Jay saying you've got to do what's right for you, and you've got other people. So there's this whole thread that went through the night, which then ended with Seth and Sammy in the ring. Seth's called him out. And they have a personal promo because they've got a lot of real life history. And Seth's like, you're a friend outside this ring. When I had Rue, his daughter, he said, you'd had your kid at the same time. And he said, you were one of the first people I rang because I was lost. I didn't know what to do. I didn't think I could do this. And I rang you. He said, that's how much I love you. And I want a bit. And I don't want to hurt you. And Sammy's like, that is true. He said, and I agree with all that outside the ring, but in the ring, I do not agree with what you're trying to do now. And then he went, and the fact that you know from personal conversations how much I want to win a world championship, and you've tried to use that to manipulate me now. You're gaslighting me. You are trying to abuse me like I have been in the past, and I am not running away from that. Which then leads to a Bron Breakker match, which turns into a murder. During which, when he's third spear down and he's just lying on the edge of the ring, and Seth stood next to him going, you can still take it. You can still go to SmackDown. We can end this now. He refuses. He gets a spear when Thingy runs around the ring. The match never got to a pin. He got rolled into the ring, and I loved it. The ref just dived over Sammy and just called the match. He like protected Sammy.
Protected him.
And then Seth's just like patting Braun. He's like, no, he's made his bed. He's made his bed. Leave it be. And then he turns around and stomps Sammy, and that's how it goes off there. It was a lovely thread that that ran through the show, and it really set up their group. They said they were going to hurt him if he didn't accept. They hurt him massively, and Sammy's a great one to get that heat because he's beloved.
Yeah, he's an excellent face to throw on the pyre. Yeah,
but I like the fact they brought up that he wants a world championship. I like the fact that last week there was that little stir with Jay when Jay had his back turned.
Yeah.
Like, we could be setting up Sammy 2026 Royal Rumble winner, and I would be fully there for that down the line if this is going to be his year when he finally gets to have a world title. That was the main thing in Raw. Julia appears to be on Raw pretty much now. Julia and Roxanne are up there.
Okay.
Joe went down to NXT this week as well. So they're kind of blending all that in. Stephanie Vicchio had an unbelievable match with Ivy Nile, who's really underrated. She's a really good wrestler. As I said last week, Stephanie Vicchio is an absolute star, but Ivy Nile really matched her, and they had a really good match, and I'd like to see that again down the line. So, it sounds like a stupid thing to say when WrestleMania is your biggest show of the year. It felt like they just wanted to get WrestleMania out of the way and reset. And I think the creative was so shit, and there was all this confusion with all the only thing coming out of it that was really good was the Seth stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's been reset. So Backlash, we've got we're probably going to have Jay and Logan Paul. Make of that what you wish. Not interested in that one. Lyra versus Becky for the Intercontinental. That was set on Raw.
That was set up. Yeah.
Lyra got to have promo time. That was really, really good. She kind of admitted, I was blinded kind of by childhood dreams at Irish Tag Champs.
Yeah.
Becky made the point, well, you're cheering Bayley, but she liked the stuff she did back to me in 2019, which people have then kind of brought back up and gone, oh yeah, she was pretty horrible to Becky. She was like, I've not forgot that. Becky said, I'm the one who was...
How is that Lyra's fault though?
Oh, no, this was Becky Becky did the promo first, kind of saying why she did what she did. She said, I'm going to remove any doubt. There's no who done it here. I attacked Bayley. And Lyra, why did Lyra choose her? She knew I was free. She knew I was going to be there. Why did she go to Bayley? Why didn't she come to me? When I was the one on the way out, we put her over and said she was going to be the star. Lyra reminded her, I beat you in NXT for the championship.
Yeah.
I believe. And she had a really good... Lyra had a really good promo, but that match has been set up for it. The other one, which on the face of it, and if I'm on the outside and I don't watch it, and I don't particularly like the man myself, Pat McAfee versus Gunther is official. Now, on the face of that, you go, fuck's that. Why isn't someone else getting the spot? But it's an equity thing. Pat McAfee and Michael Cole are like legit very, very good friends, and Michael Cole has held him to account. The very first WrestleMania that Pat McAfee showed up to, he showed up to a production meeting in shorts, and Michael Cole told him to get the fuck out and go and dress appropriately because it's WrestleMania. And he stood up to him when no one else did. And they are legit very good friends, and that is on screen that you can see, and it's off screen as well. So last week, Gunther had attacked Michael Cole, and McAfee had stopped it. And then when he had his back turned, Gunther like popped McAfee's head off. McAfee, I said it at the end of the last pod. Pat McAfee had a promo spot. It was very, very good. And it was none of the bullshit that you normally do. But he basically went, I have not been in the ring for a long time. He said, but ultimately, my friends are my friends, and if you are going to attack them, I'm going to fight for them. And you do not attack a 60-year-old man who is not trained, who is not someone who wrestles, and expect that I'm not going to do anything. He said, so this might go horribly, but I want you to lift the suspension, because he had a 3-week suspension, Gunther, indefinite suspension, sorry. I want to lift the suspension, and I want to fight him. So the match got set, and I get it. It's kind of pissed some people off. But if it was a random wrestler from the back, it would be like, okay, it'll be a cool match. But there's no tie into Michael Cole.
For it. At least this, makes a bit of sense. And it'll be McAfee will fight from underneath for a bit, and then eventually get murdered. But at least and then might get like a begrudging handshake or something.
And you're gonna see him get murdered. So let's remember.
No, but I mean, like he did a War Games. Like
that's it. Yeah, he's wrestled.
He did put some work in. I mean, it was fine. It wasn't great, but says me. But you know what I mean? So I think he'll get some bits in. But Gunther's essentially going to.
The only way I can see him winning Because I'm considering like SummerSlam's coming up.
Michael Cole with a
Please
moonsault.
tell me if I'm wrong here. Did Goldberg last year say he wanted to have a retirement match this year?
Goldberg says it every fucking like 3 months.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he just chats too.
But there was that thing with Gunther, was it Saudi Arabia or whatever it was, where he riled Goldberg up. And I wonder if
They
Goldberg
said,
will get
he
involved.
said, fuck off.
Which I don't want, but I'm just trying to think, is that how?
Why is this reason here?
Yeah.
Jesus.
But in
Why
terms
do you
of the
keep throwing
story,
scrubs
actually,
at fucking Gunther, man? Like,
I'm just throwing that one out there. I've not heard people say it. I'm just throwing that one out there.
If they make Gunther do a fucking job to Goldberg, I'm glad I stopped watching, man.
Yeah, no, that was it.
What's that? Eat a spear and then a jackhammer.
Hopefully that won't happen.
I hope he goes into business for himself.
In terms of the McAfee thing, I will. If I remove emotions of him or what you think of him as a story and equity and making sense.
As a beat, I get it, yeah.
So yes, Dynamite.
Again, right. I'm going to point out, boys and girls, I need to start making notes probably when I watch it because I watch it and none of it stays in my head at the moment. I don't know whether it's because I've got work stuff on or whatever.
I think it's a week later as well.
And we are literally watching this like on a Wednesday from the week previous, and like I've slept since I watched Mystery Wrestling, which has taken up all of my brain. There was a man in a bear costume. Actually, no, it was a bear. It was a legitimate bear fighting a man who sells hot dogs while riled up on coke. The bear was riled up on coke. Mystery Wrestling is tremendous. If you haven't seen it, do go and watch it. John Silver sang, you know the bit from Step Brothers at the end.
Yeah.
John Silver just sang that in the ring at the start wasn't explained why. Just did the whole bit, boats and hose. Yeah. But yeah. So my notes are Mark Briscoe versus Ricochet. That was fucking ace. I don't know.
Ricochet won.
No. Briscoe won.
Mm-hmm.
Rolled him up for the pin, and then Ricochet like beat the fuck out of him with a chair. And Kevin Knight came down to make the save. Which again, Kevin Knight's only been here for 4 weeks, and he's getting involved in everyone's business, and I'm 100% for it because he's great. And then we had the Young Bucks against Speedball and Kevin Knight in a fucking great again. Just do you want lads flipping about the place? Because I've got a match to sell you. Yeah. Again, Speedball seems to have really found his place as well. I'm so happy for him. I've seen him for years on GCW. But yeah, there was that. We got another bit with MJF and Hurt Syndicate.
Ooh, how did that go? Oh, he got a thumbs up, didn't he, from Shelton? It's just Lashley now, isn't it?
Bobby's not on board, yeah. Bobby stole his car. And there was references to broads and stuff. And I'm like...
Doubling down on it.
And I know I said I wouldn't watch it, and I did watch it just to see if... Okay, maybe they've learned and listened and they haven't. So that's a big old skip from me from now on. Will Ospreay and Brody King against Josh Alexander and Takeshita was exactly what you wanted it to be. Like, lads knocking bells out of each other. Statlander against Jamie Hayter. Yes.
I've heard about that.
This is, man, this could have fed families. Just an absolute, it's love to see Hayter back, like, properly, like, getting involved in I'm hoping she wins the tournament there, but I don't know. But yeah, we'll see. But no, just a really good, like, hard-hitting women's match. Just a match. I don't know why to put the prefix of women on it. It's just a really good, hard-hitting match. And then Mercedes come out at the end and, like, started chatting shit at Hayter. And I'm like, she's about 9 times the size of you. Like, she could pick you up and squish you like a bug. Oh, and then, was it May 14th as well? Beach break. John Moxley against Samoa Joe for the championship.
Oh, okay. No, double or nothing.
There was something at the start of the thing they brought out. Again, I'm not up on popular musical culture. It was Master P.
Yeah, and then a bit WCW as well.
But yeah, there was a bit of set to on that, and Joe was like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you, Mock. I'm coming for your belt. You've just been keeping it warm and all this stuff." And then it was announced later on that we were gonna get that. And then Collision, Swerve Strickland against Blake Christian. Exactly what you thought it was going to be. It feels like we're getting a lot of young bucks interfering in people's shit at the moment. But in a good way. I think it's just trying to establish what their motives are. But then Kenny comes out and just thwarts them at every opportunity because Kenny's not forgotten. Tony Storm against Queen Aminata. Yep, more of that. I also really want that new Tony Storm T-shirt, the Slop
Yeah, I've seen
Tarts
that.
one. But
She got an open challenge as well, hasn't she, for this
that
one?
was the open challenge. She announced that on Dynamite, and this was the open challenge on the Saturday. And again, Queen Aminata is so fucking good, but Tony's not losing this belt at any point soon. I think it was Jay put in the Discord thing today of a very young Tony Storm and Hackety Dog for NXT UK.
Oh, I've seen it on Twitter.
Yeah, and I've never seen this clip before, and I'm like, well, as you said, like if we don't get Tony doing We're Just Innocent Men at some point, then what are we even fucking doing here? Really, what's the point in any of this? Because that's all I want now. As soon as you put that into the ether, I'm like, yeah, this has to happen. Max Caster got killed by hologram, so he's like, I don't even know what his ranking is now, because like the rankings mattered. Remember when AEW rankings mattered? That was a fun couple of weeks.
Yeah. Do they matter? They don't matter again now, do they?
No. I was wondering what
we
he's
forgot them.
since he issued his open challenge, he's lost every single match. And now Hologram's beating him. And nothing against Hologram, I love Hologram. But I need some payoff for this because otherwise, I'm always going to be excited to see Max Caster just die. But
it's weird because I thought the payoff was going to be Bowens.
No, but we've had that.
Pay-per-view. Well, yeah, but that at the last pay-per-view, so I thought it would transition into the next chapter now, if you like.
Oh, just have him do something else. But yeah, I don't know what it is. But I'm always going to be happy to see Max Caster get his head knocked off. Anna Jay killed a woman, and it's to set up Anna Jay against Megan Bayne down the line, which I'm all right with. Since Megan Bayne's been in AEW, I've found her slightly more interesting than I did when she was on the Indies. And she looks tremendous. Like she's got she looks great. I just don't care, if that makes sense. Dante and Darius top flight against Leo Rush and Action Andretti tornado tag. This was exactly what you wanted it to be. Lads flying about everywhere. Well, I don't know what you want me to say. Bandito against Dralistico for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Fucking just lucha shit going on everywhere. Like that, my note is just lucha nonsense. And then the main event, Dax Harwood against Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. This was fun. Two things that I don't. Oh, Stokely is now with FTR as well.
I saw that.
Big Stokes back, and I'm kind of like, okay, I'm with it. I mean, why? Stokely could. I don't know, but Stokely could sell ice to Eskimos. You know what I mean? Like he has that thing of whoever you put him with automatically gets better. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still not over the whole Chris Statlander turn ditch thing.
We don't talk about that. We chalked that up to the Nightmare Family. Like it was a thing and it didn't work and we abandoned it. Even though that's still one of my favorite promos is him and Stat in that school for the wrestling club and there's no one there because it's the wrong day and the wrong school or something. Like, but yeah. Yeah, again, like I know I should make better notes, and I'm sorry, but John's normally here to at least bounce back off it on with me and remind me of stuff that's happened. But so again, from going forward, I promise I'm going to start making proper notes on it, like Ellis does. Just because me just going that match was good, like you know that. You've watched it yourself, so I don't know what you want me to say. Actually, think about it. What are any of us actually really doing here, Ellis? Right? Who knows? But yeah, again, another good week for AEW. Like I think they're back in that groove now of since Jericho's gone. I'm not saying that he is the Gordon of the island, but yeah. Just good stuff. Again, I watched Mystery Wrestling at the weekend, which is tremendous stuff. I'm not sure when the next one is, but it's Cecil. There was also a tag match between the Space Sluts and the Ass Blasters, who both contained Cecil Nix as a wrestler. So he had to, at one point, wrestle himself. And it was tremendous, like, because I called it at the start. I was like, he's going to Fight Club himself. And yeah, he did. But no, if you haven't seen it, there's some, you all seen the clips, because the clips go around on YouTube, but it's on like 10 o'clock on a Sunday every couple of months, and it's over by like 12:30, and it's great. I know if you got work I got work the next day, but it is legitimately like my favorite overseas promotion because it's the right balance of absolute carnage matches, like brilliant, absolute banger matches, like Michael Oku against Stu Grayson, and it was fucking beautiful. And then later on, you've got an Oscar Mayer Wiener hot dog seller against a bear that's high on cocaine. And it all makes perfect sense. And also you've got Like it's in a very small church hall in Canada, in like French Canada, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful show. Everything goes wrong, and everyone hates the refs, and it's just great fun. But that's and I've got no other shows. I've got no shows this month.
Oh, to go to.
I think Bolton Town Wrestling is the end of May, but until then, I've got now lined up. I looked at my calendar and I was like, I've got like 3 weekends free for the first time in such a long time. So I'm gonna have to find something to do. I could finish my Ian Skinner adventure game that I was writing. Well, get past the first 2 screens. It's so hard to do. But yeah, so that's that really. I mean, it's probably a short one this week once I trim it down.
Yeah, good show.
But again,
no,
just
no pay-per-views or anything.
No, and like
good wrestling.
AEW wrestling's pretty good. Indie stuff's pretty good. I think there's a GCW show this weekend that I'll probably stay up for.
Some fight that, isn't it? GCW. Oh, Triller, sorry.
Triller. Call it by its proper name, Stu. Yeah, but they all start at like 12 in the morning. But that's when like I get phone calls off people going, "Are you watching wrestling?" So yeah. Other than that, I got nothing else to say really. Just be nice to each other. Eat your greens. Stay hydrated.
Yeah, I think so. Well, when I did my bit before, I should have said, best way to sum it up. Theodore turned to me. I said to him yesterday, I said, "Oh, have you watched the TLC on SmackDown?" And he went, "Yeah. Why the hell wasn't that on WrestleMania?" There's your way to finish.
Yeah, that is it. They don't value tag titles. They're just going for big names.
Yeah, why wasn't that on instead of War Raiders versus New Day?
Because that was to advertise Clash of Clan Kings or whatever. Clash of Clan Kings. It's all about. It's not about the wrestling, young man. It's all about money at the end of the day. Oh, also, we need to go back to Grand Pro as well because Grand Pro are doing tremendous stuff. I saw clips from the weekend, and I'm like, we need to go back. We need to take our Darren there, and yeah, we'll have a good time.
Yeah, he's champion now as well, isn't he?
Yeah, but he fought Mickey Barnes, which was his first competitor, and I'm like, fuck, I need to watch that match because
that's a match.
That's like two. Wrestling's great. Go and watch what you want. Watch what you don't like. Don't watch what you don't want to watch. Don't say that you're not going to watch it and then watch it secretly because that's lying. And every time you lie, it makes the poor baby cheese cry. Good night, boys and girls. Good night.
Cody ain't having a 10-minute match.
Is he Bulls?